already know what the level of defense with J.C. Holly. Know, although he played for the Silver and Blue Nation. This is the thing. The problem is with this thing right here. When you have Flus on the opposite side of the ball, this is just me talking to y'all real deal. Flus already know what this offense is capable of doing, but also he knows what the defense is trying to do. So the reason why you have one of the worst, I'm talking about the worst performance of our defense for this year, you can argue the fact that, you probably saw some.
Here we go, still here.
But this is the thing. Oh, what's that?
Just bad game today. Totally, bad game. Can't believe all the flags coming out there. Anytime Dallas is getting down the field, getting some movement, there's some kind of flag coming out. So some silly calls, these phantom flags. Some might have been legitimate calls. Some might not have been legitimate calls. But Dallas got a majority of the flags. He's one, I think. T.J. Hilton got like a 37-yard reception. And he moves in the play. A false started on the play. And they just overlooked it. You and me listen to Law Nation right now.
They can look at some of this tape.
And I called into the fan, and I just basically got cut off. But it's just flat out.
And one of the fact that we already know if those is in the chat box right now, like Whoa right now, and Keith and Mike Mardo, guys, aren't you guys watching the game? And can you call out a few plays and say, okay, this is what they're going to run right now. This is what they're going to call out right now. They're going to go with this read. They're going to go with this play. If you think that you know that, then guess what? Flu's going to say, okay, I know exactly what play they're going to call right now. And I know exactly what the defense is trying to do and take away. Now, far from a scheme schematics, yes, you can look at the fact that Chris Richard got these guys playing up tight on close up on the line, but it's still Tampa 2, baby. It's still Tampa 2. We still said the exact same thing. So he knew, and he knows the strength and the weakness of Jalen Smith of the world. The only person he probably didn't know was LVE, of course. But at the end of the day, collectively, what this team was doing, Flus already know. And I'm talking about Matt. I just call him Flus because it's like Ever or Eber or Eve or Eber. I don't know. It's Flus. I'm calling Flus. But let's get back to what we're talking about. Shout out to those who are still watching the channel. We got a couple of more minutes.
Movies all week, man.
Crazy.
No preparation, bro. Totally upset, man. Totally pissed off. I'm sorry.
Appreciate the phone call, William. Cowboys lose 23-0.
You see, this is what fans don't understand.
A ton of confidence over the
you ain't got your core offense.
Scores 0 points first time.
Yeah, no Zach Martin.
They have been
no Travis Frederick. And they're killing us up the middle. Coming in there, breaking down the offense and pushing them back.
Incompletions. We just hurt ourselves from the beginning all the way to the end, and we never really gave ourselves a chance.
Just played flat bad today. I even get back to the point that I even made when I called in. You don't ever see me. You don't ever see them showing Kellen Moore talking to me, talking to that, got him down on the side, got him over on the bench, going over all the day. Going over the last plays. You don't see a whole lot of that. You don't see a whole lot of that. As far as I'm concerned, he just shouldn't even be there. And one caller brought up about Wade Wilson. Wade Wilson was always showing Tony Romo where he can fix stuff, where he can fix his gameplay, and it's just ridiculous. You don't see none of that from Kellen Moore. And I'll even fire back at Jesse Holly, even though, yes, you played for Dallas, and whoever you got sent to Tampa Bay or whatever the heck, whatever team you want to go play for,
to have a game like this,
you can sit back and you get. They give you a forum, and they put you on a forum, and then you can sit here and talk about.
You got to find a way to learn from that.
Well,
and get better, because we still know
that holds the ball too much. The offensive line can't get off their blocks. They can't put. They can't push. Elliott can't get through the daggum holes. Busted plays, flags.
As I just said,
coming out of nowhere.
We're angry at ourselves. There wasn't any finger pointing.
And
hey, I'm looking at this guy. That guy's looking at me.
Like Dak's talking about right now. If anybody should be mad about
coming together.
The way they lost, it should be them.
I mean, I don't know if we thought
because they didn't execute. They didn't execute. But they're they became too predictable. And that Eberflus, as soon as he left Dallas, he exposed that offense. He exposed that defense and let them know where the weaknesses were at. And that Tampa 2 and that zone coverage, they need to lose that crap. Or they need to find better ways to disguise it. They let themselves down. And hey, maybe it was good for good reason.
The line of scrimmage on offense.
Maybe it's a good thing they did lose.
Defense was doing
just
what we were giving them, and we weren't scoring. And
see that they're not infallible, that they can be stopped, that they can be beat. We've seen what they did to the. We did see what they did against the Saints. We've seen what they did against Philly. The last 5 games that they played.
Any competitor never wants to get shut out. I mean, the shutout definitely hurts.
You don't want to get You don't want to get shut out. Hey, this should be a freaking wake-up call.
You have opportunity to score and you don't. So yeah, 100%. We've got to find ways to capitalize and score in the red zone.
And the ways to capitalize and score in the red zone is you need to start running. You need to start using some daggum play action, some play action, some rollouts,
I think so, huh?
some reverses, something to keep that defense.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Guessing. You got to keep the defense guessing what play you're going to call. Point blank and period. It's too much trying to pass in the red zone. There's too much of that crap. But I understand why they do it, because they feel that Elliott's going to get bottled up. Well, the way you break that up is you got to spread them out. You spread them out, and you get that defense spread out. And if you can call that play and roll somebody back in for that reverse or a double reverse. It's something. I mean, it's something.
To win this game,
but they know what they need to do to win.
As an offense, I mean, when the defense holds a team like that, on offense like that, 23 points, I put it on me. I put it on this whole offense. We've got to go win the game then, regardless of whatever happens. And as I said, when you're playing behind the line of scrimmage as we were, and not executing in the red zone, I mean, just all the things that you do to lose a game, we did tonight.
It's crazy.
I mean, just the way we didn't give ourselves a chance just pisses me off, pisses everybody off. So I mean, we knew it was on the line. I mean, it's been on the line. It'll be on the line next week. So I mean, we just gotta go and get better this week in practice. Appreciate it.
There you go. Thanks, Dak Prescott. The Cowboys lose to the Colts 23-0. The first shot for the Cowboys since November of 2003. The Colts provide a blueprint plus your phone calls all on the way.
They opened it up.
Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
But that's how it goes.
Provided a blueprint, man. He knew the blueprint. That's the thing. So you know what's going on. You know what's getting the opposition ready. It is what it is. Obviously, it's horrible. Romo would have messed it up. Come on now. Come on. Y'all leave Romo alone. Romo is enjoying Candace Romo and Rivers Romo and others, all his kids, man. He enjoying them kids, man. So all we can do now is just regroup and get things back into other factors. Home game. We still going to have over 100,000 people here at Texas Stadium live in this thing. We have the Howls. We would let them think that we are out of our misery. Bubba Gum Dakota 728 Auto. Appreciate you, though, man. Never stop believing. Yeah, raw. Yes, indeed. But it is what it is. All we can do now is for those. This is what I wish for those who kind of on the fence with this team. I want you guys to get on off. I just want the real fans to be here, and I wish that everybody, the fake fans and all that stuff, I just wish that this loss was so horrible that they can just leave and go put on another team's jersey and just root for that particular team.
Exactly, Law. That's what you got to tell them.
Out there, as soon as we win next week, they'll be back.
They're with the fans.
Y'all be watching.
Exactly.
Y'all be back.
You heard him.
Y'all be back into the fold.
They'll be right back in the mix, right back in the fold, like nothing ever happened. And if they go and stamp on Tampa Bay next weekend, they do it. They do it, and then they're gonna be coming right back into the fold. But us diehard Cowboys fans, we're always going to be here, win, lose, or die, flat out.
That's all we got to do now. Just figure out.
It's just it's too easy. But I do plan on going to this game, and I do try to get me some kind of video feed, and hopefully I can run into Law and Bosch and them guys. I'm looking forward to them. But yeah, I kind of missed it on that call that I made into the fan because they more or less cut me off while I'm like midstream into trying to explain something, and I was doing a little bit of stuttering. And there you go. You just heard it. I'm just doing a little bit of stuttering, but it's point blank and period. Jesse Holley is who he is, and he's gonna sit there and cry and whine and talk that trash and try to beat you down. Yes, he's played the game, so he knows what goes on out there in the field. And it's to sit here and say that fans don't see him. See anybody over there talking to Prescott or Kellen Moore sitting on the bench, sitting on the bench right next to him, showing him the plays, showing that little screen. They got the screen. It does replays. It replays the play, and it shows.
We need somebody to challenge.
What you need to looking at.
Somebody from the Buccaneers need to call out this offense and say, okay, all we got to do this, all we got to do that, and then maybe this offense can just
and that's what's going to come down to. Going to have to call them out. It is what it is.
We'll bounce back there playing catch up. Yeah, Travis Banks, yes. Rainable Brian, yes. Still Cowboys for life. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, man, JG, man, what's good, man? Thank you, man. He said, Lord, oh my God, man, appreciate it. Lord, tell us what
it's just ridiculous
about our Cowboys. Jerry Griffin,
it's just
this is what it is, G, and I know it's not Jason Garrett. I'm just telling you right now.
Just Cowboys to the bone.
It is struggling. It is struggling. Now, collectively, everybody want to pinpoint it to Dak Prescott. They can have that, but I'm telling everyone, who would you rather have out there now? You can't make no trades. There's nobody on the free agency market that you can pick up right now.
But it's crazy. I hope I'm getting some kind of feed on here because I'm flipping back and forth through channels.
It didn't look good.
I wish I had
a
little bit better, but
he's even on the practice squad doing well right now.
Do something better here, but
it's just what it is.
I don't know.
Roll with what we got right now.
Just gotta.
And then during the off season, we reevaluate everything. To me personally, you still roll with Dak Prescott. You will say to yourself, okay, how can we improve on this mistake? And like I said earlier, I use this analogy. You got to put better pieces around him. I don't think the Kellen Moores of the world are going to elevate this guy.
No.
I don't think that it's possible. It's just me just telling you guys the truth. Willie Brown Jr. said he's going to ride with that. Yes. But then Whoa over here said true. Law Nation, yes. If the Bucs show up and show out, next week, we're going to have. It's going to be ugly. But it's something that it's something that we didn't face before, right? We faced these type of situations before. If people thinking they think I'm lying. Go back to 2012. Ask me what happened when a go home game that game. Pull up 2012. Watch that tape. Let me know what happened.
A couple of games can be a fluke. 5 games can't be a fluke. So I would have said, protecting the football better, but I didn't think that was an issue today. The thing that was concerning about this game is not something that has been a problem just throughout the year, and that's the way that they got sliced and diced in the line of scrimmage when the Colts had the ball. I mean, that guy is not a household name. Now, he's had a couple of 100-yard games. He's probably a pretty, a better player than a lot of folks realize.
It's going to be a household name now. How he ran against Dallas.
From the point of attack today. And none of their playmakers on defense was able to really, maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, even come close to making play. So that's not something I would call a concern about the team, but it certainly was a concern about today, and you got to watch that stuff because, as you well know, you can form good habits and bad habits without a great deal of attention to detail.
Yeah.
Is this a blueprint defensively for what the Colts did? And Zeke still had 128 total yards and 25 touches, but it was Amari Cooper that was limited 4 catches for 32, 1 carry for 11.
I don't believe that it is.
Is it a blueprint where the Cowboys
really trying to get him going
and defensively the Colts were able to limit him?
Why Sham talk?
I would have to look at tape, Ari, but
they're talking to the voice of the Cowboys now, Brad Sham.
Because they didn't seem to be doing anything unusual to bracket him or double him. I think that there was pressure a good part of the day, and I don't know that they handled the pressure very well. And I don't think the ball was thrown in Gallup's direction at all. So it's not just Cooper. But I don't think they had any unusual schemes to defend Cooper. They just got to shore things up better, a little bit better up front. I would guess.
They do nothing. They apply pressure.
No one has told me this. I'm reading between the lines and somewhat guessing. I would guess Zach Martin would play next week. And it sounds like Suapilo is going to be a little bit of an issue. They took him to the hospital because he gets poked in the eye. Then Connor Williams could go back.
Yep, and that's a penalty.
Left guard.
Face mask. You put his hand in his face mask.
They would win this game without him, and he could rest that knee. But my guess is that I could be completely wrong. My guess is that he would play, and Connor Williams would play left guard next week, and so the protection issues that contributed to their problems today might not be quite so many. But I mean, in the eventually, if they get undone when they have the ball, that will be the thing that undoes them, just not holding up front.
Voice of the Cowboys, Brad Sham, joining us on the post-game show. Cowboys lose to the Indianapolis Colts 23-0, first time being shut out since 2003. Brad, this team and in the red zone, the stat I came into the game with was when they're goal to go, 10 yards or less in the red zone to go, to score points is at 47.6%. What has been the issue with this team and their inability to score points in the red zone and
they're not running the ball.
Red zone and 10 yards in?
I'm not trying to run the ball. No rollouts, no play action, no jet sweeps, reverses.
And I thought today was a really good. In other words, they're not. The players are not playing well enough. I know that everyone wants to jump on the play calling when why didn't you do that? Why didn't you throw it to so and so? Why didn't you run more? That third down play today was a great play. They brought Elliott across in a jet sweep formation that they had not shown all year, and then they had two men wide open underneath on the left side. They got pressure, and therefore he was not able to throw quite as good a ball as he would have liked. But the throw to Olawale on the goal line was good enough to be caught, and he didn't catch it. Now, you can't blame the play design or the timing of the play being called for that. The players just didn't execute it well enough. And I think that without knowing, how many times they've done exactly what, Jess, in those goal-to-go situations that you're talking about, that would be my guess. They haven't executed it well enough. Now, some of that would have been early in the year. Like, I think right now they have tight end play that can be effective down there, and they didn't have that earlier in the year. But Schultz and Jarwin are both playing representative football now, so some of those numbers come from when they were, a different team. But they're still an abysmal red zone team, and that's one of the things that makes it hard to win when you can't get touchdowns down there. Today it was because the players didn't execute the plays well enough.
Great call. Appreciate your time as always, Brad. We'll talk to you next week against Tampa.
Okay, guys.
Great, Brad.
Have a good week.
Have a good flight.
You as well. Brad Sham, voice of the Dallas Cowboys, joining us. Post-game show brought to you by Albertson.
Yes, indeed. That was a great Brad Sham, man. I'll just sit there and wait and listen to him speak. Let's see if they can do a commercial. Did he go into commercial? But this is the thing. The great Brad, he was talking about that play. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to see it live. I just saw the replay of the highlight.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. Well,
what I saw the ball touched
bits and pieces of it, but
I think
the feed here is is ridiculous. Wi-Fi is ridiculous here. But
was that the first series that he dropped the ball, or was the first series, because I didn't get a chance to see that, or was the first series where I heard that they got a block kick or something like that?
Yeah, the first series block kick.
That's crazy too, for them to get a block kick. That sets up everything for them.
Because they're not holding up.
But let me know, guys, that's in the comment box. They get the block kick originally, and then that was like on the second or third drive, we were all the way down there on the field. Tight end play definitely looks better. Yes, 728 autos. Yes, I did saw Jarwin, number 89. He made some plays today. I must admit, he caught the ball in traffic. He was able to get the ball up more and make some plays explosively. getting people bouncing off his body and things like that. I saw that, you know.
It's ridiculous. I think, you know.
Ronnie 728, don't hate on our quarterback. You know, it is what it is. JG, that mic. First series blocked. Okay, so the first series was a block. And then the second series, was it the third series or the second series? Jameis Olawale dropped the ball. Cowboys did not look quick strike offensive team. Sonic rings laugh out loud. Kurt Warner talked about that this morning.
Kind of crazy.
He made his mistakes.
It's more or less.
Yes,
kind of ridiculous.
Dak do not trust what he sees. I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah, obviously you don't trust what he sees.
On the first series, Steve Naismith is a clown. We all know that.
So sometimes you gotta take the hit and change the play. You can do that too. He done it before. He changed that play when they played Philly, and he got that tip ball and Cooper into the end zone. But it is what it is. But
let the chips fall in the May. I understand that Dak Prescott, he's the reason why we lost every single game this year. So it's only these 6 losses only on Dak, nobody else. Okay. First series block kick, and then the second or third drive, Olawale dropped it. Oh, okay. So that's how the flow of the game went. So did the coach score their first series after that block kick? Let me know. Put that in the comments.
Yeah, they did.
The reason why I'm saying it's all about tempo, temperament, things like that. And for us to get down into the money zone, green zone, red zone, hey, we dropped the ball big time then. I mean, first kick block series, and then all of a sudden, 49 dropped the pass on the third series. So defense was awful. If that's the case, yes, the defense were awful, and the quarterback and the actual offense series just were terrible this year.
Everybody just needs to step up.
Expect for this to happen again at home, then you guys were rightfully and naturally can have these type of reservations. But I don't think that they're going to play this hard at home.
They're not going to play. They're not going to play like trash at home because they know they still got to play them Giants. If they lose to Tampa Bay, and then they play the Giants and the Giants beat them, all the Eagles got to do is win one.
It's a horrible defeat, but we got to roll up our sleeves, get ready to get back.
Just like you said, just got to get back into the mix.
I may go live a little later on
tonight. So I'm going to kill this stream right now, and I'm going to go ahead and post it. But like I said, it's freaking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I'm just going to bust it in there.
Y'all know why my guy Mark Holmes
do what I got to do.
Yes,
all right.
Y'all check out here.
And I'm out.
The King, Shango, my brother. Ooh,
go Cowboys.
Stuff, man.
All the way. I'm silver and blue to the core. Silver and blue.
I gotta hang out with
get the silver, got the blue.
Go back into town, and I gotta really
I'm a Cowboys fan. How about you? Believe that. And I am going to this Tampa Cowboys game, and I'm going to watch down there and see if Kellen Moore is actually down there talking to Dak. I'm going to watch the whole daggum game. And then when I'm done with that, I mean, if I see him do it 2 or 3 times, but I don't see him doing it throughout the game, I'm definitely calling 103 The Fan, 103 The Fan, and I'm calling Jesse Hawley out. And I'm calling him out. I'm going to straight call him out on that. And fans do what I mean. Fans do watch. I watch today. I mean, I watch film. You don't sit here and listen to all these talking heads and all this crap. It's just a bunch of freaking noise. You just got to calm down. People need to just calm down. Just need to calm down. We'll be good.
You guys want to hear something?
This is Dave Alexander. I'm out.
To the other beat, man, because we don't